Where am I? Woo! There's a setting I forgot to change somewhere. Woo! Hello. Hello, and welcome. I'm Nick, and welcome to another edition of the DooM WAD Travelogue, the show where we say, even if it's not a great time to be going out and being around folks, I never really consider it a good time to be around folks, but that's because I have extreme social anxiety. That doesn't mean we can't still explore new and interesting places. We just do it in the form of community-built new mod and level packs. Now, this week, I went down a little bit of a rabbit. I went a little bit down a rabbit hole. All right. Here's the first gag. I want to look at Super 3D Noah's Ark. Not because I think it's good, not even necessarily because I think it's interesting, but because, wow, can you tell I'm starting my second cup of coffee, which is like my fourth caffeine source of the day. I've been playing. I've been doing it in background work. I've been fiddling with my own little, you've seen my custom WAD pack that I want just to keep things fresh and interesting for me. I do a little graphics changes. Grookey is there, it's little things. Right now I'm up to, I downloaded a free sound asset pack from Itch, and I'm looking for gentler gunfire sounds, which sounds gentler, which seems almost a contradiction in terms, but I'm really tempted to just be like, here's a silenced version of every weapon, but then I would need to create sprites that are silenced versions of every weapon, and that's too much, and it is what it is. But among all that, I'm thinking, I'm not a big fan of the violence. There's something about the challenge of marksmanship that I enjoy. I'm as happy with a Nerf gun as I am with a BB gun or paintballs or whatever. Bow and arrow. I would kind of love to get down to the bow and arrow range. If I don't even know where such a thing exists. But I'm always happy to like hit targets rather than I refuse to go like animal hunting. I'm not here for the violence. I'm not here to harm. I'm here for a challenge and for a good time. And sort of in that line, I'm thinking like, well, what sort of sort of narrative replacement could I do in DooM to maybe make it, if not fully family friendly, at least a little bit less gruesome? I mean, the fact that we're fighting demons, honestly, the fact that some are turned humans and it's just like, oh, they're not people anymore, but you can see it's just like, oh, we are coming in after the sad story of these people, dying and being turned, and now we are just shooting monsters, but it suggests to a sadder story. So something like, oh, there were never, sort of humanoid characters in it in the first place. It's at some point, uh as I recall, if you wanted to really get into like Quake or Quake 2, whatever, you would just go, yeah, I am a diamond shooting lions at diamonds, we are not doing any graphics. And it's like, there's something to that. When you know that diamond is a person, there's something to it. There was something on the Unreal store that was destruct or tacular. It wanted to be Unreal Tournament, but it like every character was a sphere that you could put stickers on, but it was just like, yeah, everybody's just like a ball. And that was all right. One of these days, I am gonna have to just pull up Shoot Mania. It's unavoidable. I'm gonna end up showing Shoot Mania on this stream. But all of that being said, I kind of always come back to, okay, well, what's something you can do? Well, I like to feed animals. You've joined me for however many Okami streams, Bing. And I got to remember that I said Bing. And with that, I really threw myself off because I'm thinking of ways that I can make a note without interrupting my flow, but my flow's interrupted anyway. I love it. Let's do a little hard reset. No longer available on Cafe Press. We have a TeePublic shop set up with other mugs and merch that you can buy. Get a phone case with my characters on it. That'd be lovely. I got one. I love it to bits. We know from Okami I love feeding animals. So why not have some sort of like animal feeding game? Actually, it was working on the chainsaw, and specifically something about the when you land a hit with the chainsaw, your screen bounces all around. So what that got me thinking too was like when you're doing like a chew toy tug of war with a dog and they just grab it and you get that same kind of motion, and when you're done playing with them they get sleepy and you're like, oh, they got sleepy. But of course we all know, if you're here, if you're watching somebody check out DooM WAD, I feel like you would know about Super 3D Noah's Ark. Is that the right order? Sure. A game in which they made it pretty Christian, but it is a non-violent game. It is a game about rowdy animals that you are feeding via slingshot, and they get sleepy, and you just gotta make them all sleepy. And it's just like, you know what? Yeah, that's pretty much what I would want to do. Now, would I want to do a much more like elaborate version of it? Sure. Do we want to come up with okay, but the shotgun and chain gun food slingshots are pretty funny. Can't argue that they're funny. But something along that vein. And before I go too long down the hole of reinventing the wheel, humanity is gotten to the point that it's gotten to by standing on the shoulders of giants. So I said, hey, let's, I forgot to turn my lights on again. There. Nope, there. Yes. I'm so distractible today. Let's pick a small giant and see what it's like from on top of their shoulders. Let's just play some Noah's Ark. And now it turns out there was I'm gonna say modern. Basically the same way that there's GZ Doom, or Z Doom and its lineage. There is a similar lineage for Wolf 3D, and they use that port to rebuild. I guess there was originally a DOS release of 3D Noah Ark 3D 2. We all know it from the Super Nintendo. I'm doing the thing that you get on like right-wing talking heads. We all know, that's a way of saying, here's something I want you to take as true without providing any evidence. I'm doing it for fun. They do it for manipulation purposes. I'm really on it today. What is going on? They released like a source port, so I gave GOG the $4 on sale or whatever. It's also, $5 on itch. And I said, yeah, I should just have this. I already have Chex Quest. Let's just, round out the set a little bit. So we're going to see, well, what is, how to make this work. Okay. I got to start Noah 3D, and I got to come here. And I need to say, hey, where does the game get captured from? Okay, we're letting that be. Nope, not that one. Why am I having trouble here? Game cap. This is going to be cap.game. And I want you to capture, specifically, Noah 3D. And I'm probably going to grab, like, here and here. And you're going to go about where that is. And now when I look at it, the game is going to be broken. Oh, okay, hang on. I have game now. Let's take this out of full screen. Right. Right. Oy vey. Bam. We're having a day already. Can we grab it this way? I'll take it. Hey, if it works, it works. Okay. Yeah, we'll take vertical sync. Oh, I need to turn that down in my ears. Aspect. Screen res. Oh, yeah. Give me. Okay, wait. These are getting to like modern numbers. 16 by 9. Here we go. Now this is more or less what a video game should be. Alrighty. I need to turn that music down because I know I will. Sound Blaster. Ad-lib device, music device, digital device. Okay, I guess we're in ad-lib. Okay, all right, you can. All right. Control setup. Don't need run. Mouse enabled, yes. Let's not disable Y-axis. Let's see what that does. Customize. Forward, backward, left, right. Turn. Use. I want that on E. Slots. Sure. We have an auto map. Great. Okay. I don't plan on playing this whole thing. I want to look. Let's see what Carl the Camel has to give us. I'll be honest. As much as I sort of like have bits of Doom like memorized, like I've been playing a bunch of like Doom randomizer, and like arguably I think I could like start like actually getting into like speedrun tactics for Doom episode 1 at least. It really doesn't extend much out of Doom. I don't know much about Heretic. I don't know much about Wolf. I know Carl the Camel is having a rough day over here according to the sprite. But I want to explore. Let's do a level. Let's see what they do. Let's get a feel. And I'll be honest, there's a second act to today's stream. I won't spoil it yet, but we're gonna have some A/B testing. If this is your first time watching this show, man, I got to get back to the structure part. This is a show about exploration, not about challenge. So we always play on the easiest level, and if we still find ourselves banging our head against something particularly hard, no problem using cheat codes to push through. Get some. You'll be out of the Ark in 6 days, Noah. Unfortunately, the animals are a tad bit restless and want to get out now. Good thing you brought all that food with you. You'll need it to put the busy ones to sleep forever. At the end of the first day, be prepared to deal with Carl the Camel. He's been real cranky lately and is a bit out of control. Good luck and be careful. Get ready. Here, can I... why... Uh-oh. Why no mouse look? Windowed mouse. Sure. Oh, because otherwise it wouldn't capture the mouse. Okay. Oh no, Y-axis doesn't look up and down, it moves you. I can't do that. Okay, but it does it here. Ow, ooh, ow. Hey, I don't want to talk out of school here, but I think Wolf was bad. Okay, now we're here. God, yeah, the movement is so... Okay, we start. We're in a room. Got wood flooring. Oh. Okay, hang on. First thing I'm thinking, could I take these textures and make a terrible... Okay, these are billboard pillars. I don't hate those. I guess we're probably only the 64 high, right? I'm trying to remember... Because again, I'm looking at this sort of thinking about like, I'm looking here, I want to build, I want to either recreate or be inspired by or something like that. So I'm looking at our height, and you know, Wolf, every room is the same height, all walls are squares, but there are still things we can sort of take from. But I'm looking at these wall and floor textures and just thinking Minecraft skin. Haven't made one of those in a long time. Gustapel. It's a good noise. Now, do we think... So no collected... So, okay, so canonically, depending on whose canon you ask, the animals lined up for Noah to get on the Ark. He didn't actually have to go out and collect all of them. I was raised Catholic, so some of this stuff, it just lives in my head. Again, I could know music theory. I could know, like, physics stuff, which is technically also music theory. Instead, I know Christian lore. You would think that if animals were lining up to get on the ark, you would not have to keep them caged. They all busted out. Ah! Oh, I got sleepy. See, Ah! What the? Why? The lack of, you know, screen jelly or knockback or anything. I was just like, is the game breaking? No, I'm being struck in the back. Oh boy. I had the weirdest thought yesterday in a very similar vein to what we're doing right now. Like, what if I go back and try to play Blake Stone? That was a game I never understood as when I played it as a kid, and then in the modern era realized it's because, oh, you need to like talk to characters and like use terminals and basically read in order to do it. And I could read at a fairly decent age, which just never did. Ah! They go sleepy. Look, it's so adorable. They adorable sleepies. I'm not. I refuse to be over this. It's so adorable. All right, we got cages. And there's a weird way in which I feel like something like Noah's Ark is actually a better setting for the Wolf engine. Whoa. Because Wolf 3D was supposed to be like a castle, right? But oh, yes, please. How do there we go. This is what I need to look at. All right, we'll look at that more later. Oh, there's something over there? Is there a secret over there I need to get? Hold on. When you're working with 90-degree turns, and we could one day visit, you know, Rise of the Triad and talk more about this. 90-degree turns, like perfect ones, really do not occur in nature, and when they occur in man-made structures, it is like only in the most functional settings. It's like, hey, there was a struggle, maybe there was a rush, we needed to make this just happen. In a way that I think parts of castles you'll get that, but it's also in a way here that's just like I feel like you see that more in like this could be, you know, boat, holding cells, dungeon, whatever. It could also be a dorm room in a weird way. Anytime you get into like, especially like low cost housing where you're really trying to optimize space, then we get into just like, yeah, it's just rows of boxes. We did rows of boxes. Oh, he's doing the back kick. Cute. Can we? Nope. What is a good? Like even going outside of just food, right? Because I don't know. Well, if you give me a lot of food, yes, I get sleepy. But like, if you actually want to tire me out, it's almost more like, you know, animal toys. We're gonna play with them. We're gonna make them work. They're gonna get busy, you know. Okay, they're spitting at me, but I think they are the equivalent of the brown shirt guards. So they're hit scan weapons. So you hear a gentle pew, but then you just simply take damage. Why did God have the floods come? Man was wicked. God has always been big on collateral damage. Here's the thing. Ow. See, and then this is okay. I'm just gonna go on about all the things I've been thinking about what I would do with a project like this, right? Well, we kind of got a curve going on here. Animals who do melee attacks, sure. Animals who do spit attacks. I first think of camels. I think, I believe ostriches will be appearing in this game. I think that also kind of works out. There's probably a lot of animals known for spitting. I would make everything a projectile shot, partly because I find that projectiles are... they're easier, you know? I've said that so much, that like hit scan enemies are always the first priority, even if technically their attacks do less damage, because your ability to, like... it only deals damage if they hit, and it is easier to not be hit by projectiles than it is to not be hit by hit scans, right? And also just like, let's get a big animated spit glob flying through the air, you know? Come on. I don't know, maybe we could have like bees? They would kind of be like lost souls, but they would have stingers. And those would be projectiles? Okay, we have wrapped around. Like, I know this is kind of the way that the game has to be, that the walls have to be. See, okay. I just didn't see it on the way through. Guess we want to go over... one over there we haven't seen yet. There's also elements of Wolf where, like, we have such established constructs of, like, room, door, you know, square attack that it's just like there's only two ways that you're going to block sight to an enemy, and it's by, you know, 90-degree wall around the corner or by a closed door. And both of those have very clear cover points. So I feel like right off the bat, the game gets extremely samey. I do think that, you know, some of the most action-packed moments in Doom that make you think on your feet about combat is like when you walk into a middle of the room and pick up the thing, and as soon as you know, touch the pedestal that the thing is on, then doors around the room open up, and you now suddenly find yourself in a combat scenario starting at the very middle of the room. Oh, Moss on the Wall is pointing out, no, secondary? No. Oh, here's our hyper food launcher, which is, okay, here's hand feed. So that's our knife. Does that use feed? Good, it doesn't. That's our pistol equivalent. And this is, because this is Wolf, this is our, what do you call it? Machine gun, our sort of MP40. Okay, so I guess Moss on the Wall is what we're looking for. This way. I was gonna say, you look different. Noah, you built this boat. Shouldn't you know where all of the things are? I guess we're okay. It's a game with points. I've thought about this a bunch. There's a lot of things that I think about. I have a lot of time on my hands, like where I'm inside my own head, I guess. Excuse you? Strange. Oh no, this is the one that we pushed to get it. Right. Ah! Wolf has point items. Doom does not. Doom has armor items. I do like the idea of... I don't know if it's... And then we leave, and we leave. Okay. Oh, look at that Noah. He's so happy. Look at that font work. Goodness gracious me. Doom has health and armor and multiple ammo types. Wolf has just ammo, single ammo type, health, and point items. And the idea of like health and ammo are so tied into like the core loop. I am a fan of the idea of like, let's introduce something else, either something that is points. I think points are I think points don't necessarily do it for me. We spent 10 minutes on one level. All right, we're having a day, folks. I don't think points do it for me because I'm not necessarily like I'm not a leaderboard chase kind of person. But like, I don't know if you're picking up some other resource for like a super attack or something like that. I do think when Hexen introduced having an inventory and it's like, oh, stuff you can pick up and use later, and it's just, you know, consumable abilities that you can hold and use when it's most appropriate or helpful. I think that was a cool idea. Hey, Quake 2 is pretty good. I don't know. Let me tell you all about Quake 2 someday. Like, I don't think points does it, but I do like the idea of like something to, because this is something I run into a lot in Doom, right? Is like, if I am good on health and ammo, especially, you know, in a situation like this where we're playing on easy, we're just exploring, there's actually like nothing that really, you know, entices me to search every corner to look for secrets like that. It's just like, no, what am I going to find? Something that I don't need right now. You know, it's okay. Very strange, because this is similar to my complaint about Metroid style games where what am I going to find? More ammo cap for an ammo I never run out of because I rarely ever use it because I know it's consumable, you know? So something the Doom randomizer I've been playing does, which I think is fun, it makes it so that when you pick up a backpack, it doesn't just double your capacity for all ammo types. It increases the max capacity for a single ammo type. And then like, so for every backpack, they actually make 4 backpacks, one for each ammo type: bullets, shells, cells, and rockets. Because I have to prove that all of this knowledge is lodged in my brain for no good reason. And something like that, I think, works. I actually do think of... I did not play a lot of Final Fantasy 13. I played maybe 10 minutes or something like that. 10 minutes could have been 3 hours. RPGs have a time warp effect like that on me. But I remember the way that worked is that the consumables you had in battle were restored in between every battle. So you always come in with full supplies, and you were only ever... when you found stuff, you were increasing your max. So if you found a potion, quote unquote, you weren't finding a single use potion. You were finding, I will now have one more potion available in each battle. So you would go from like 3 to 4, and something like that I do think is a good reward, which again, I'm just describing Metroid, right? But I think for something like Metroid, when you find a new ability in Metroid, I think that's really cool. When you find, oh, here's a little bit extra of something, it's like, it's not world changing. It's, you know, after the first 2 or 3, and suddenly you go from, well, I only have, I don't even know, like what, 5 missiles available, and then you go up to, all right, now I have 20 missiles available. If you never use more than 8 before having a chance to reuse them, then it's like, okay, so if you put 30 missile ups, it's just like, all right, most of those are not interesting. A couple are interesting, you know? So the idea of there are, it's depending on the balance, depending on what's core. It's then again, I'm also a goofus, and if you say, oh, there are, you know, costume recolors hidden in corners, I will work the hardest to collect all of those, because I like to play dress up. But so you know, this is what I'm thinking. Right, and there's something to be said because, like, I know when I'm playing Doom, the BFG is the potion of doom because you only get like 4 shots max, and it's always like, well, I'm never going to use that because I want to save it for when I really need it. Which means I'm also not really using the plasma rifle because that's eating from the same resource. But so there is an element of, like, you know, cells are giving me consumable uses of the BFG. Also partly because it's like, there's, this might just be me, that maybe some of y'all out there understand this feeling, but like, when numbers get big enough, when uses of an item become so indiscrete, you know, if you can say I could fire the BFG 3 times and I go, okay, I get 3 uses. But when you start saying like, oh, you know, you can carry 200 bullets at a time, it's like, okay, but I can use 3 to 5 on a regular guy. I'm using those 2 at a time and faster if I'm using the chain gun, but then guys are dropping them. Then we get almost into like, there are like discrete numbers, and then there's like economy numbers, and economy numbers is like, okay, I should use a chain gun when I'm fighting former humans because they drop clips. So, you know, I will come out less in a deficit of bullets than how many bullets I use to take them out, you know. And you start thinking of them, it's not about, you know, numbers become more relative at that point. It's just like, oh, it's a water hose, not a cup of water, you know. And so I guess I'm thinking about it like, to me, those discrete uses feel more interesting. I'm trying to remember. I feel like the chainsaw in Doom Eternal was trying to work like that. It's like, oh, you have like 3 uses of the chainsaw, and I'm like, okay, I can keep track of that. And it's just like, oh, it's a 1 discrete use, not you can kind of get away with it because sometimes you can be like, and Quake 2 did this with a bunch of things. It was just like, okay, you get 1 30-second period of double damage of chainsaw use of whatever, you know. And that's also the thing about bullets. Like, I feel so different about like chain gun ammo than I do about environment suits in Doom, because chain gun ammo, you can use it a little bit and sort of, as long as you pace yourself and you sort of use it smartly, that's a word, sure, then you can kind of use it forever and it can be reliable, and you usually don't find yourself running out of resources for it. Something like a toxin suit, same thing. I cannot hold them for later, and so I always avoid picking them up until I, you know, feel like I really need it. And because it is a discrete like 30-second chunk, it's like, okay, as soon as I pick this up, I'm on a time limit, you know. It would work more like a chain gun if it was more like, okay, this suit lasts for 30 seconds only while you're in toxin. So it's just like, yeah, you pick it up, and while you're standing on ground that doesn't use it, it's not depleting. But then as soon as you step into toxin, then your counter is rolling, and picking up a new one resets it. And at that point, it would work a lot more like ammo. A specific toxin armor. That's... Can't... Because if you're spending your whole time in a section where you're just in toxin or lava or whatever, it would be no different. Can I do enough with my custom WAD? Can I like rewrite how the environment suits work? Yes, I could, because I could write a new environment suit which does resource and timer and all of that, and I could just replace the vanilla one with the one that I rewrote that uses all new systems and variables and stuff. And I could be like, yeah, we have this one that only depletes while it's actually in use, and then I would use them. I would pick them up pretty much every time. I would always pick up at least the first one, and then if I need it again, I would top it off. That's such a good idea. If I forget to follow up with that, somebody else out there, please go make that mod for me. I am... Points. I was talking about points. Yeah, I... Perfect! You win! I need to get the Street Fighter 2 perfect effect. I need more soundboard stuff. I love soundboard stuff. I need a physical soundboard I can mash on buttons. I need to make them arcade buttons and yada yada. Anyway, like that's... Honestly, this whole thought of like, if not points, then what is a new resource is a scope far above what my I was thinking for some sort of Noah's Ark, make the animal sleepy WAD, especially when we think of that as something although it's not too out of theme if you consider like part of it is making it more like casual friendly to a wider audience, and I do think sometimes easing up difficulty is part of that, right? Because there's something to be said about easing up difficulty doesn't necessarily mean making it easier. It's about, so like something like the toxin suit thing, it doesn't necessarily make it easier, but it does shift where the challenge is. Instead of having to be quick, you have to be smart, you know? You have to, you exchange your Twitch reaction skills for, gosh, why are these animals dropping feed? If food is making these animals sleepy, why aren't they already asleep? Because clearly they have food. I'm overthinking Super Noah's Ark 3D. Okay, this is... Hello. Wow. Wow. Oh, gosh. Sorry, so much is happening here. This is some sort of like watering hole, something. There's no names for these levels. It's simply, but like I was like, oh, this kind of looks like a closet, and it is a door, but it's not like the rest of the doors that make you go, that's a door in this game. It's not a door like that door. That door was a secret door. Keys. I guess we're looking for keys. Keys are not here. Keys, we have to go elsewhere. My Twitch ability is definitely not what it used to be, but it was also never my strongest suit, so the idea of swapping moss? No, okay, so here moss is not secret walls. The idea of being able to swap out Twitch skill requirements for like plan ahead skill requirements, I love the sound of that. That tailors it more to a challenge that I am better at, and B, a challenge I enjoy, you know, a skill I enjoy using more. Ah! How are we feeling? Fine, we're on easy. I do have this one. I need to use it just to hear the noise it makes. The fact that I can't check the map or keep moving while I check the map is going to slow this whole thing down, because I'm used to checking the map constantly. Okay, so this is tucked in here. And there was a key door over here, but I want to use it over here. I bet they connect anyway, but this is the first one I saw, so it's the first one on my mental checklist. Silly. It's silly. It's silly. But also, again, that noise is so gentle. I prefer that over the sound of the chain gun. Oh. Wow. Oh, can we break these? Can we break these by feeding feed pods to break? Noah entering a wing of the boat and slicing the pie. Yeah, you see now, that's That's an exit, but we didn't wrap around to the other key door, so we gotta go explore. What we're here for, to explore. I'll keep saying it until we all believe it. Now, what do we think? Is one of these... you see, like, there's a gap in there. This way. All the way around. I wonder if this is just going to be a dead end, because it's... If we did open the door near where we found the keys, it's just like, yeah, you could, but it's not where you need to be going. Can I go through that door? Yes, I did, apparently. Fruit room. Uh-huh. Have all the feed. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna say this was worth it. I'm sorry. You remember in the options when it said something about small feeders? I need this one to be big. Yeah, that's what I need. Ugh. Wow, that really does change sort of the scale of what we're doing here. Yeah, I need to block my whole ding-dang view to look at this. Okay, what is the mechanism of the... Okay, so we have like a pull string, and I guess it's going to rotate that middle bar, and I guess it must be like rolling forward, and each of those... It's dropping the feed through the funnel, down the pipe, lined up in line with those bars, so as you're rolling the thing, it's going to knock them forward. This is silly, but I like silly. This is a silly I can have fun with. How many levels are in an episode of Wolf? That's... I could probably play a whole level, right? Is it 5? What are the odds it's 5? Hey, Producer Joe, can you look up how many levels are in the first episode of Wolf 3D? Thank you. Wolf 3D. Never mind, I think it's 3. At least I do. I made him so sleepy. Okay. I guess they made this shorter. Okay. We get in sideways? Ooh, that camel hurt. Okay. There we go. Is this also just going to be this? Yeah, it is. And this is okay. Yeah, just stuff. Got it. He's just so sleepy. He's so peaceful. I mean, listen. Hi, Jackie. Somebody comes at me and is like, hey, I'm going to assault you, but with food until you get sleepy and full, and then I'll leave you alone. I'm like, yeah, I don't hate that. Ducky. Wow. Wow. Only one side? Maybe this side? This side? The ducky is different, huh? Alright. Have this. It looks like it's an exit. I gotta pick up all the fruit. Wow. Wow. Am I getting extra lives? Maybe I'm getting extra lives. Gosh, the idea of lives. Imagine Doom with lives. Ugh. I mean, sure. Level 1, floor 3. Wow, Noah, Carl sure was hard to calm down. But remember, you were chosen to guide this ark to safety because you know how to get the job done. The closing of day 2 ends with irritable Ginny the giraffe. She may be tall and quick, but give her enough food and it's off to sleep. Oh, and Noah, remember to keep an eye out for hidden rooms. Okay, so it's just dumping us into episode 2. I'll see if it's another 3 level. I'm willing to play a bit more of this. Yay, you moved, you did it. Even if things aren't completely unpacked, are you a little, do you get to relax a bit now? The anxiety of it coming up is over? Are you gonna let me have... Okay, we're keeping all of our weapons. That's a good start. Weapons are feeders. Go look for a giraffe. Noah was the only man to find grace in the eyes of the Lord. I mean... That is why he was saved? Was his family riding on his coattails, or was it his whole family? Let's try true. Alright, yeah. Nice. I was very happy to have Monday off for Labor Day. But my dumb butt was like, hey, what if instead we just like really triple down on getting some art done? And it's good. I got like 5 pieces done in 2 days or something like that. But it also means I don't feel like I actually had a chance to rest over the break. Map. Ooh, okay. Oh, this will also really let me see where secrets are, huh? I think that's where we came in. Go, no, that's behind there. It would be helpful if the map told me which were coin doors, key doors. All right, you're short at least. Monkey. Not a secret, but it is marked on the map. Oh, okay, so that's like a super life up or more ammo if you don't, if you're at full health, but I'm at full both, I guess. Yeah, all right, this one. Yeah, I did that. I did something like that. The start of the weekend, I was invited. How many years did God say he would strive with man? What? 50? No. Okay. It was my coworker's birthday, and he invited a handful of us out. That goat know how to open a door. That's a smart one. Like on Thursday, invited us out to the mall on Saturday, but the mall that's like an hour away, and it was very much just like, oh, that's gonna be the whole day. This is gonna be a whole thing. And I was like, you know what? That is a pain, but like I like these people. I should go hang out. I should, you know, I should force myself to do the work to have a good time. And we did. Spent a lot of money because my ass always trying to be charitable. And buying... I bought all the game cards for everybody. It's like, yeah, if I'm going to provide anything for a party, it's going to be the video games. We went to a Dave & Buster's. But it was just like, hey, this was great. I had a super fun time. I am also completely knocked out now. But yeah, the like forcing myself to go have a good time was I knew I would need it, and I know I should, and so I did. Okay, so this is like a maze zone? Ah. Well, you know, I paid for the game cards, and then I also, the only like versus game that I lost was one of those basketball shootout machines. But I won at 4-player Pong. I won at what, 4-player Pong, air hockey, skee ball, Galaga. I love the big Galaga. I want one of those machines. I want one of those machines, but I just want to run like MAME on it. In pool, I had to teach a couple of people how to properly hold a pool cue because they were giving me an aneurysm the way they were holding it. Oof. Yeah, that's really cramming it in. I don't know what, like, I spent the rest of my day, or the rest of my weekend, I guess it's a weekend, working on art stuff? No, I also had to get cars inspected and do some work on them. What did Noah do after the flood? He planted a vineyard? Okay. None of that's real. Oh, we have more of this. Who was Noah's oldest son? Was it Japhet or Ham? Was it Ham? No. This double door entryway, sure. Into, okay, so with the texture work, and this is like, yeah, this is kind of a kitchen. That's kind of more than I expected. Also kind of a dining room. This is kind of the mess hall. Now, oh, I guess those are bird cages. Okay, fine. Those are where they keep the doves for checking if there's any land. They sure give those Bible characters awful silly names, don't they, Abbott? Here we go. Wow. Wow. That's a sound effect I can rip out and put on the soundboard. Wow. Hey, we're back to that one track that eats your brain. On which side did God tell Noah to pitch the ark? I mean, normally if you were building a boat, you would do it on the outside. Would God tell you both? God is kind of extra. I'm gonna say God told him to build a boat in the normal fashion, but had to spell it out. So outside? I guess it was both. Not really helping me learn Bible stuff. How wide was the ark? It was like 30 by 50? Yes. Why do that? I know. You could go ask Ken Ham. Didn't Ken Ham make the Noah's Ark experience where they built a quote-unquote life-sized? A Bible is so weird. And it really doesn't matter which version you're talking about. Is it weird? Listen, I know I haven't played Wolf 3D in a very long time. But why do I feel like these levels are actually more interesting than the original Wolf 3D levels? Ding. Okay, now I have key. Ah! Do I have gold already? No. Right, only 2 color keys per level in Wolf. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think there's something about the arc that is somehow a more fitting a more fitting scene for... No, it couldn't be 3 because then you still couldn't get into it. So unless it's one of these sides. That is somehow a more fitting setting for a game with the geometry limitations of Wolf. Nope, I didn't get that yet, so we're not done in here? Did I? Oh, okay. Like, the idea is like, yeah, we built this boat to house 2 of every animal, let's say. So it's just like, yeah, of course it's going to be huge, and it's a boat, so it's just like, yeah, it can't have holes in it, can't be open. It's going to be mostly interior space because we're building it to, you know, be a boat. I've never been on a cruise ship, but I have to imagine, like, that's part of why, like, a cruise ship always ends up sort of... Interesting. Use offer code. I'm on a boat. All one word. All one word. Like a cruise ship always ends up being kind of like pyramid shaped, right? So that way they have like the most like balcony area, you know, decks open to the sun, because it's just like, yeah, if we just made a big cube, it would probably float. Well, you also want it to be thick at the bottom so it's harder to upturn, but you know, for various reasons. But it's like once you get into that whole bit, it's just like, okay, and now we're just sort of big and contained and underwater. The idea of like, yeah, we can't have holes, we can't have windows. What are you gonna see? And the idea of like, oh yeah, this was also before we could get like a lot of glass. Couldn't like industrially produce glass. So we just have it's wood corridors and rooms. And again, what I think it's kind of going for here, it's essentially nothing but holding cells. It's kind of like a big... Noah's Ark was kind of like a dungeon for all the good boys and girls and animals and etc. It's a jail that keep you alive. What? How tall was the Ark? Also 50 long, 30 wide, 30 tall? Yep. What did God make with Noah so that Noah knew that he would be safe? A covenant. Besides animals, what other things did God tell Noah to have in his ark? Swimsuit and a rubber duck, sure. It was food and his family, sure. It's not even like a bad jingle here. It's just so short and instantly gets into your brain. But yeah, there's especially the lack of window. That's one of my favorite things about DooM is like, yeah, the skybox is extremely fake in so many ways. Like it is just sort of like a PNG that scrolls left to right. It's a single image that gets stretched and wrapped around. So I guess more like a cylinder, a fake cylinder at that. It's really just a roof that is painted see-through in a way that's really hard to describe. But the fact that you have open sky, the fact that you can have windows, the fact that you can be in a building, look out a window into a courtyard with the horizon behind it is so, like, that is sort of like the basic elements you need to really be scenic, and DooM has that. Whereas Wolf, the only time you see sky is what, at the end of the final episode when you escape from the castle, and even then it is like no skybox, no nothing. It is a Roadrunner style. We painted the outdoors onto this flat wall kind of. Okay, so that's the escape. We have one more room to look at. And there's a point at which, like, I don't know, somehow it makes more sense to me that Noah's Ark would have, the entire thing is built to be a holding cells, not necessarily a dungeon. And like in Wolf 3D, like, yes, you start in a dungeon, but also it feels like a dungeon the entire time, even though eventually you run into where Mecha Hitler is hanging out, and it's like, why was he hanging out in the dungeon? Like in a weird way, a castle would have some more biomes. This is 2-3. All right. Hopefully, we're gonna fight Jenny the giraffe here. Oh, those barrels are finicky. Whether we do or not, hopefully we do though. We will then move on to part 2 of today's stream after this. Ah. Now, when the ostrich hits you, you're... Is that fruit? That's... What, does fruit just score? Wait a second. We're at 22 fruit. We're at 22. Okay, so that, whatever that is just score. Ah! Does that mean I went the wrong way? No, there are simply ways to go. Also, even if you're not talking about outdoors in a sense, right? I talked about this a lot. If you want to go back to, or I guess it's up there this time. If you want to go back to when I did the Rise of the Triad WAD, in keeping with a lot of the original, just the fact that you don't have windows into other rooms. You know, when Doom has, you know, a sort of elevated path that runs alongside a bigger room, and you get that sense of mental mapping. It's like, oh, I remember being in that room. I can see that room. I'm now making connections, and this whole place feels connected. Rot and I guess very much this, because they are built on... I think the Rot engine was closer to Wolf than it was to Doom, even though they did a lot with like graphical effects and fidelity and stuff. It's part of why it's not just claustrophobic because you never see the outdoors. It's claustrophobic because you really only see like this much, which is you're seeing the room you're in and whatever room you can see through a door. There's no windows between rooms even. And that is very... It's... The space is compartmentalized in a very literal way that makes it feel... I think I usually talk about it, it feels like it makes it hard to feel like you're progressing, because if you can't see where you've been, if you can't see the path from where you've gotten to, it's hard to tell, like, oh, how long, you know, it's the Vegas casinos effect. They don't put a, you know, on purpose not putting clocks because they don't want you to realize how long you've been there. But it's just like, no, how far I've come, how much progress I've made. Being able to look back and literally see the progress I've made, like that is satisfying. That is part of what's enjoyable about these games to me, you know? Whoa! Since when? Just, we got big ones now. Alright, good. Hey, okay, what? I didn't know they grew them that tall down in Texas. What? We have. Let's go. If I see a giraffe, I'm definitely gonna hit her with the coconut launcher. Wow. More of these. Now, is fruit a second ammo type? No, we simply leave here. Alright, well, if I just got the... Okay, this is the boss. It's fine. Ah! Whoa! Who are you? You went down quick. It's funny. I'll give it that. It's so funny. Like, it's funny because it's silly, right? Like, the idea I think in the context of, like, this show, in the context of, hey, let's do something, you know, let's build something on Doom that is silly or funny or makes you think or is just unexpected, that is kind of novel. I think this is fine. You know, I'm legitimately enjoying myself here. Go figure. The idea of taking something like this and releasing it as a standalone SNES cart, like, it's like, yeah, no, this is a product on par with those things, is like, it's laughable. I don't think I'd call it funny, you know, different kind of laughing. In a way that's, I don't know, that would be like embarrassing for the developer. On the one hand, it's fine. On the one hand, it's fine. Oh, I guess that's where we came in. Okay. The slide whistle as the boss's alert noise. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's what's gonna get me killed more than anything else. I was not ready for that. Oh, is there health in here? Yes. Oh, I actually kind of really needed that. Oh. Make that giraffe sleepy. Okay. Well, I did get this key. Wah! Get health first, and then... Why did God choose Noah to be in the ark? Noah was... Wasn't he like a farmer? I'm guessing he was righteous. Yeah. You know, not necessarily as a truth, but from what I know of, like, recurring themes in the Bible, it's just like, oh yeah, no, if we're writing about them as like a main character in the Bible, it's because God said that they were the best and righteous and just or something like that. Never mind what being just actually means. We're going to gloss over that in the modern era, but you know. I thought that was Homer for a second. Okay. Wow. Alright, let's get out of here. Not only let's get out of here, but let's take a... We've been going longer than I thought we have. Let's take a quick 3-minute break. If you're watching the archive, you won't even notice. If you're here live, don't go nowhere. Cycle your fluids if you feel the need. All right, everybody? We'll be back in 3 and 3. Alrighty, we're back. And we're moving on to the second half. Still thematic, and you might go, hey, isn't this the same thing? No. So... Going back to the idea of standing on the shoulders of giants and making them go, hey, get off our shoulders, because they're jerks or something. In looking for... I think my floor is tilted. in looking for stuff on Super 3D Noah's Ark, I was lucky enough, I put in the right keywords into the hellscape that is the internet, that the algorithm spit back at me. Someone did pretty much what I was looking for. They said, hey, I'm just gonna strip the assets out of Super 3D Noah's Ark and stick them in a DooM WAD, and we're gonna, let's see here. Wait, I gotta fix something. We're gonna do that. Add existing. This one, don't make it visible first. Do that, and then come down here, and then make it visible. Yeah, maybe. There we go. So this is also Super 3D Noah's Ark, but this is, we're now in GZ Doom. This is, I'm not sure exactly the name to credit to. This is sort of an abandoned project, which is why I put a question mark on the release. Taking the assets from Super 3D Noah's Ark and importing it into GZ Doom and building new levels around it, which I think is the most interesting part to me, because that is sort of, when I was thinking about like, oh, how can I make a WAD that is just like, you know, instead of fighting demons, we're feeding animals. Oh, that exists. Okay. But then, you know, turned around and go like, okay, well, if you try to modernize, if you were to try and build, you know, Noah's Ark levels now, what would you do? How would you make those? What would the design be like? And that is what we are really here to look at with this. Because I was saying so much in the last one about, like, you know, you can do a lot with purely grid based. I mean, technically it's just super low resolution if you want to. I don't know what the sort of like overall map dimension limits are like for a wolf map, especially on like a modern source port. But as soon as we're starting playing with verticality and switches and things like that, and what are we going to get? That's what I want to see. This was the question I had. So this is the as is version of that WAD, and I want to look at it. So let's look at it. That boat is a little rough, and there's also definitely a part where it's just like, just picking up somebody's project, is that a little rough? Maybe. Would I do it? Would I start doing it and then ask for blessings on it before releasing it? That I would do. Also, there are there's some things I heard that I have misgivings about how this was made, that I would want to have a discussion with the original author first before carrying on their work in any way. But again, this is out here. This seems to be the only thing most related to what I've had in mind, so we're gonna do it. God help you. Complete celibacy, Christian, Sunday school student, a sissy sinner. It's got that jam. See, here we go. Skybox. What a pleasant skybox. Pleasant skybox we got now. How's the shape of your boat doing? That's my first question. Okay, we have jump. I don't know if we were intended to have jump, but we have jump. There was I think I played this a very long time ago. It was part of like a Half-Life 3 game jam where they released the sort of like unfinished script that was supposedly what Half-Life 3 was going to be based on, and then there was a game jam of like, yeah, now let's all make our own little game jam games that sort of follow that script, and like, what could this game have been? I do remember somebody doing a DooM WAD. I probably played it on stream. If I did, bing bong. And that was set on a boat in a way that I remember really feeling like a boat. Whew, that's rough. Oh, Look at this detailing on the door though. These are all, I think these are pretty much all the textures we were seeing in that last one. Ow. Ow. See? Projectiles. Sleepy. Not animated sleepy. So I already started poking around a little bit at this before. I'm going to turn messages off because calling it clips and stim packs, like this is I will say a lot of what's going on here does seem to be pure asset replacement, but like in a very basic way. The sort of standard for doing these things these days is like, oh, I want to make my own custom pistol, is you start writing a new pistol and it sort of like extends from the original and, you know, has a custom name and it's different and all of that. This one I believe is more like literally just overwrote the graphic for the pistol with the slingshot, and so it is still referred to as a pistol. Yeah, health bonus, clips, armor, stim pack. I gotta say, these torches are really nice looking. Oh, they must be like the floor candles or something, and that's why they need these pillars to hold them up at that height. Okay, you know what? That's fine. I like the inset ridge all around the top of this. Gonna see. Oh, why is that so zoomed out? Gonna see if this boat makes any more sense. All right, yellow key up there, yellow key up there. Hello? Red demon goats. Bing bong bong. Like I said, I started poking at this. I will admit, like these first 3 rooms over here is like the only thing I've really touched. So we're about to get out of me sort of knowing what we're in for here. Yeah, you know, Noah's armor. Oh no, it's oh, Joe. Do you remember what the fancy name for the armor of God was? Like the full-on armor of God? But you know what I'm talking about. You just backing me up. I'm not completely making this up. Okay, so when putting armor into a Noah's Ark game, there is some source material to pull from. It's in the Bible. I don't know if it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Is it in one of the parts of the Bible that they took out of the Bible? Okay. I will say they've replaced this one is no longer the MP40 machine gun. This one is now shotgun. This is replacing the shotgun, so we just get a good Okay, how hard is a slingshot launching the feed is what I want to know. Because I love it, actually. And yeah, what did we just pick up? We're calling it a box of bullets, but we have feed, fruit, watermelon, and rocket melon. White melon and red melon? Feed and fruit. But so I guess fruit is our shells. So this is actually a 5-pronged fruit launcher. Okay, we have. So does this feel like a boat? Well, when you look out the window and all you see is water, to me that feels like a boat. I don't. It's a weird kind of outrigger we've got going on over there, but fine, sure, boat. Like, this is the thing. I think you would have like some rooms that feel like that. I guess you would want to do like a level for each deck, right? And then you could have the water level like be higher or lower for each one. Actually, I really like the idea of that. It's kind of like Die Hard. I think when they try to do Die Hard arcade games, it's just like, yeah, each level is a floor of the Nakatomi Plaza. Oh, are they sleepy? They're not dead. They're sleepy. I feel so much better with them just being sleepy than dead. Ow. These goats are carrying their own counter slingshots. Which, again, is very funny to me. Although that does kind of go back to... Oh, this is kind of a feeding room? Huh. Or what's in here? Can we... Okay. Wait. I don't know a goat that makes that snarl noise. Okay. Ah! Ah, monkey door. The ears kind of look like doing, you know, bicep flex. Ah, I wonder if something's here. Do we have secrets and secrets? Yes, we do. Do we have secrets and secrets? No. Okay, but now we got this. Go for it. But, like, you know, again, if I was to start picking up from this project, right, I would probably bring it back to shared ammo types. I do like that it's a... I do like that they made this one a shotgun rather than a chain gun. But I feel like these two would use the same ammo. So I would stop that. Whoa. Need a better noise for that. You need that wow to play. Like I said, all of the enemies I would make sort of projectile bait. Red key. Don't have red key. This is all red key. Oh, then how have we... Ah, this feels better. Wait. Is that a... Right, monkey door. Did not actually go into monkey door. All the blood coming out of them is upsetting. Like that's the thing. That's why I think really we have to look at this one as Oh, yeah, and now they're all released. Yeah, see, that's good. That's what I'm talking about. Now we have you can do much more interesting combat encounters in the Doom engine than you could in Wolf. That's so good. You grab the thing for being again essentially a abandoned project. Like clearly the person who was working on this got some good sense about them, about like, oh yeah, this is how you make a map. This is something you do. Huh? I like some of this detail of like, oh yeah, the poles holding things up. See, a room like this feels very in keeping with what the original was. I don't know if I would keep a torch that big on the wooden boat, especially if it's been pitched on the inside, because I do believe pitched does mean like covered in like tar. It's a part of waterproofing, I think. Oh, I got red keys now. That's right. So I could get out of here, but what if I explore? Oh my gosh, you're a Hell Knight because you're projectile is lighting up green, because normally it would be green. This is so funny. It's so funny to me, at least. Oh, and then he just goes sleepy. What if? Normal, shot, chain. And we don't have anything else yet. We still have our hand feed. You know, I just had a thought and it's already gone. Honestly, the sponginess of these animals are, I'm not gonna say like believable, but they feel more varied in a way that feels more satisfying. It's just like, oh yeah, these are definitely these sort of red dire wolves, dire goats over here. And the gazelle being way more durable. See, we went from a bunch of, you know, very similar claustrophobic kind of rooms into now we have this little thing. It's like, oh yeah, right, we're on a boat. We're all trapped in here together. Super shotgun. If I were to do, or if there were to be a super shotgun variant of this shotgun crossbow, would it just be 8 dongles, or would it be 2 dongles, two 4-bangers left and right? What's my health? My health is good. Oh, goat infighting occurs. You love to see it, you hate to see it. Oh, and now we have like real holding cells with the broken out. I like this. This is very much the kind of thing I had in mind, you know? Modernize it, just be like, hey, we can put more detail. We can more sort of like fully realize what the idea was, right? Like with some of these things, I feel like it's even hard to, in the Wolf engine, in the original, it's like, yeah, no, obviously, like, we can kind of see what they were going for, but it's hard to say that they, like, were getting that close to it. But here, I would say, like, yeah, not only are we, like, clearly saying what we're evoking to, it feels like a boat, it feels very, also like we're still very much in this zone of hallways and square rooms only. Yeah, sure, sort of a lot of these walls are maybe a little rounded and such, but generally speaking, you know, we're not making huge use of non-90-degrey walls, and I think that's fine. I think that's interesting. We definitely have a higher fidelity. I can't really eyeball it here, but there does seem to at least be some variance in like the width of hallways and rooms. Definitely, like, oh yeah, we are here now. This way. Definitely, you know, being in a room like this where there's the ability to change the detailing and style of the room, a slightly narrower room compared to like a hallway like this. Like for just being hallways, the fidelity of how much you can detail it for being functionally the same thing does make them feel very different, and makes it easier to feel like you're in a different part of the boat. Like, oh yeah, this is one of the hallways. You know, the hallways that have all of the animal cages in them are different from the hallways that are sort of these edge of the boat, not patrol routes, but just like more for just traversal rather than having a secondary function of having cages or whatever. Oh. Okay. That seems like an exit to me. It does look like they're shooting clouds at me more than, wait, what is... Oh, the apple is fruit. That's shells. Okay. The apple is fruit. I feel... What? Ha Incredible noise. Well, I could really use some health, then, is the thing. How do I get over there? Well, I'm feeling brave. Hey, this seems to be a bad thing happening on our boat here. What? We're just using that as a teleporter. Interesting. Okay, alright. Okay, I'm listening. What's over here then? Oh, you got one of them Y staircases. Okay, sure. Those health bonuses. Good, I'll take them. Guzzle them grapes. Yeah. Oh, that's an exit door. And a walk. Oh, that art! Wow, who did that? Sephiroth. No, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know how much of this we're gonna look at, but I love what I'm seeing. See, it does look like Alpha and Oh, is that the freaking like the armor style from Hexen? The chainmail and the shield? I am curious, right? Like the idea of the animals dropping again, like the animals dropping food. Chain gunners, okay. The animals dropping food when you would think, oh, if they had food, they would eat their fill and become sleepy. Unless we want to talk about, are we force feeding? Is that something that's happening here? I don't want to talk about that, but I suppose the design seems to beg the question. What would you have... What would you have the animals drop that would be like an ammo resource? Which of Noah's descendants did he curse? Oh, we put the quizzes in here, huh? Was it canon?
Something I was watching had that piece the other day.
Was it canon, Shep, or just Jeffaba? I thought Jeffaba was Noah's oldest. Unless Jeffaba also got cursed. Me neither. I think it's canon. It seems to be canon because that led me to a room full of every power up. Curious.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, yeah, let me just. I knew that was something. Okay. Oh, and now we have the knapsack so we can hold more ammo. Wait, was there a... The room was marked with a question mark, so we knew that animal droppings would be poop. Thank you. You know what? That makes so much sense. But yeah, right, because I feel like the idea of separating it narratively, I think it would be really funny if, like, yeah, all of the feeders are man-made and they have ammo boxes that would be lying around that you can collect and gather. But you know, when you take out one of our goat friends here, they would not be carrying that. So what did they drop, and what is the weapon that drop is for? Just this way? This is something. Okay. What did I just pick up? Right, I'm invulnerable. I'm not invulnerable? What am I? This is night vision then? Alright. Super shotgun! Oh, it's just 2 of them. What's that gonna do? I like that they put the stairwell there to... Oh my god, super shoddy. Yeah, that's that. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, that's Ginny the giraffe is here. This piece of architecture is stolen from a Doom 2 level. I recognize this with the well and that. Okay, so it has been, sorry, it was used as inspiration. The nice way to say, hey, I recognize this. You took it for your thing. Ow. So you must be a baron? Why? Now what? Oh, I'm still okay. Oh! I should try and clear these out before I get shot in the butt some more. Yeah, you see, this is definitely what I'm talking about. This is like, oh yeah, no, here, we're at the edge of the boat. Part of the edge of the boat. I think now... This is silly. Again, positive. Not really close enough to get all the DPS you get with these. Okay. How am I feeling? Could be worse. What do I get? See, I feel like this is one of those things where you have to be going that diagonal. I mean, I have jump.
Wow.
Wow. What is that? Oh, is that a rocket launcher? Sorry, some sort of melon launcher? Yes. Rocket launcher. So that's on 5. Melon. All right, they took out the explosion sprite and put it with a melon explosion. That's good. That's you gotta.
Wow.
Wow. So many sleepy animals out here. Oh, we got a yellow key, so go out there. And new animals have been released. I say released, but I think they've just been spawned in, which, again, not my favorite way to introduce enemies back into an area. Okay. Is this... Okay. Oh, yeah, it's just here now, huh? Guess it's doing an alpha and omega thing. If you unmirror it, is it anything? Doesn't look like it. What are you back there? Incubus? What are you gonna shoot me with? Incubus. Okay. Ow. I shouldn't let myself get hit, huh? Who's that? Oh, good. That's a revenant, huh? I love shooting watermelons. Oh, that's a camel. That's Carl the camel. Is a revenant. You know what? That feels like a pretty good choice, actually. Oh, what? Deal with you in a second. Oh gosh. Have I made a mistake? Okay for the moment. Still gotta deal with them up there. Okay, alright. So I low. Oh. Okay, didn't see that for a minute. Oh. Also, you need a button where you can pet them all once you, once they're sleepy, you gotta be able to pet them. Ah. It's a little weird, but I was trying to think of the other, like, you know, well, no, that's a, don't just warp in. Or I wonder if there's like an idle animation that's missing and they just don't appear until they activate. If you were to, when trying to think of the other, like, DooM WADs that take out the violence, you know, non-violent shooters, it's like, okay, Super Noah's Ark, any of the, like, paintball games that they have tried to do over the years. And for some reason, H-Doom also reaches that list, because you don't kill any of the enemies in that game. You do some other stuff, but technically that's just all, like, water gun fights, and that's...
Alright!
Nothing wrong with that. How much more of this should I do? There's gonna be a bloody. One of those was spelled right. Yeah, let's do one more level here. Ah. Why did... Okay. Hey, Noah, why'd you build all these one-way doors into your boat? Good. Get them very sleepy all at once. Yeah, I guess animals could have poop. They could have maybe like fur balls. Is there some sort of fur ball launcher? Are you gold? I'm a little disappointed. Like, okay, if you wanted to do like a and I don't think this would be a good solution, but it would be an issue. It would be a solution that I would have less of a nitpick with, right? If you wanted to turn one of these like broken cage zones into like a spawn door, you know, Halo has had spawn doors. Plenty of games have had spawn doors where it's just like, yep, time for more enemies to spawn. We'll just come out of this darkened doorway. So like if they were just sort of running out of a door, that'd be kind of fine. I'm also against that because I think that like, again, just a stream of guys coming out of a known location is like not interesting of a challenge because like, oh, I know where they're coming from. It's kind of just a know it, DPS it, stay aware of it, whatever. But especially, I think that would be perfectly fitting for, you know, the setting we have here, where it's just like, yeah, it's at some point they break out of their cages, and it's dark in there. You don't know how many were stored in there. That's our super shotgun sprite. That's what's happening. That's huge. Okay. Hi. All right, I do have rockets, right? Super shotgun is kind of just a melee range rocket launcher. You get really up on them. What do you need? 3 hits? Maybe 5 or 6 for the Barons? And that's the thing. If you're doing it this style with like the actual, what is that like that for? Oh, maybe it came down. When you're doing it with like the actual physical alcoves over here, you could be kind of interesting and be like, all right, when you first come in, you know, these doors open and that's wave 1, which is focused on this side of the room. Then when you come back, these doors open, that's phase 2. And you get a lot more like, you do have to like really author each wave of the encounter at that point, but you get to author each wave of the encounter at that point, and you can make each wave feel different because enemies are at least, you know, even if they are just sort of like, you know, streaming out of a new door, you get to choose where those doors are. You get to choose, you know, how it all... I don't think staircases work like that. Monkey. You know, maybe if the animals were simply like carrying loose feed that they ran off with rather than a box of feed. You know, like if they had a mouthful that they dropped. You couldn't, you know, binge yourself into a food coma on a... Now, this is sort of taken from Entryway, isn't it? inspired by making sure to throw iconic moments in it. I don't hate that, although they do seem maybe a bit scattershot. It's just like, oh, are we doing this for a fragile? Now, that still felt like explosions. See, now if they were like wine barrels and we got all, what if we were getting all these animals drunk? Would that be problematic? Don't like that noise. And also, this one has like the least dingy. This one should actually sound more like a wood bar hit, maybe, because it would be like a clacking, because it's not twanging like the rubber straps of a slingshot. It's the pole is winding and it'll clack into the beans and send them off. The beans, the feed, the whatever. You know his wife? What? Ducking into the holding cells for cover, it feels unique, I guess. I don't know if I'd say it's like it's particularly fun or novel or anything, but it's like, yeah, it makes it feel like Noah's Ark. It's a big boat with freaking holding pens everywhere because we got to have 2 of every animal. Do you know how many animals there are? Of course they're going to be everywhere. Gonna fill every spot on this boat with aminos. How am I feeling? Okay. How am I feeling? I'll consider that question after this level, I suppose. Go sleepy. I think also I like the idea of going back to a single ammo type. Not only because it makes sense sort of narratively here, but the idea of it would let us sort of go out of our way to show that it's just like, you know, the idea of it's not about actually being an upgrade, but it's just like, yeah, these are the same things, and it's just like, yeah, this one shoots 4 shots at once, this one will shoot, 6 shots really quickly, and it is like, but with reduced accuracy. And we do get to sort of demonstrate that it's like, you can make it interesting not just by making the numbers go up and each weapon is stronger than the last, but when you make each weapon purposeful in design and intent, and it's just like, yes, we have super shotgun and regular shotgun, these are for close range engagements. Something like a chain gun is good for dealing with big groups. Something like the regular slingshot here, that's going to be kind of for like sniping situations. It's like, yeah, this is for it is situational which one is the best, rather than, oh yeah, no, once you get the rocket launcher, you're just always going to use a rocket launcher till you run out of ammo. No, that's not, that is, to me, that's not interesting. That's why lootless games don't get me. That's why like a Borderlands and a Destiny never gets me. It's just like, oh, I got the gun with the higher number. Like, yeah, maybe there are, at that point it's like, oh yeah, maybe there are situational ones, but it's just like, well, I'm either using a worse gun or the gun that's the strongest gun that's wrong for the situation, or a weaker gun that's right for the situation, and it's like neither of those feel good. Also, I think, still in Doom terms, the idea of just like, yeah, how do you make a situation hard? If I only give you the close range gun, but make it only long range encounters for that time, it's just like, yeah, you are inappropriately fitted. That makes this a hard challenge. And so, something that I like about Doom is that the difficulty settings change what spawns. So you can have like a room, you can have like an armory, and make it instead of just being like on easy, it's a light enemy who spawns, and on hard, a heavy enemy spawns. You could instead have the same enemy layout, but at the armory at the front where you load up before taking them on, it's like on easy you get the chain gun in there. On hard, you just get ammo for the pistol in there. You can make it harder by making you less well equipped for the same situation. I'm gonna stop. I'm not even calling it ranting. I'm going on and on. Okay. Okay. Twang, twang. The fact that all of these are like unpegged, and it's just like, yeah, it doesn't move. It's like, okay, that's weird. I would like to see more of this, but I think there is an element of, I've seen enough for now. I'm definitely having ideas. I gotta think about, I gotta start thinking about scope. If I'm gonna change things, which ones do I care most about? Which do I want to see? I gotta give my brain a rest. I like the noises they make. I like that they go honk you when they go down. Hey, man. I can't get over how funny this part is, though. Just, yeah, no, a machine gun of feed that we're just launching at a room full of goats and stuff. That's funny. That part is really funny to me. Oops. Oops. Oh, please let me through. Ah, good. Animal infighting. Who else? What? Oh. Yeah? In here too? Is that gonna be our way out? Maybe. No. Ah! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! I'm making the situation in there worse. Okay. I have not been here before. So right now these are all sealed. I wonder if, like, these are walls that will drop and become broken cages with actual enemies behind them. I'm getting such Resident Evil 2 hallway vibes off this. 2? 1? I don't even remember, but it's just like, I'm gonna walk past these and dogs are gonna jump through them. I don't know what's making the boat creaking noises, but really freaking me out. What are you all? You're chain gunners. Okay. Dire goats. Here we go. I got splashed with my own melon juice. It's a good splurt noise for the watermelon exploding. Ah! I am completely lost, by the way. At this point, I'm just going random directions and cleaning up. Okay. Oh. Why did the giraffe make a noise like an airplane? Okay. I was about to ask, where are we trying to get to? Oh, it happened. Oh, it happened. Release the second wave of ska. Also, I'm not gonna lie, at this point I'm kind of looking to just get done with this because I think I need to go have dinner. It's not like I haven't eaten at all today, but probably haven't eaten enough today, you know what I mean? Huh. It was just full of tasties. Okay. What's a big chicken? Where'd the chicken go? What the heck? Oh my god, was the chicken a lost soul? The chickens are lost souls, and they just turn into clouds of feathers. That's kind of really great, actually. No, I feel like I do need to explore down here. I would love to just get out of here, but dang it. I have red keys now, but I don't recall seeing anywhere that I would have needed red keys is the thing. Wrong spot. Did they have reduced damage? I feel like if I were getting hit by normal shotgunners, I would be far worse off by this point. Okay, we're here. Now, again, red keys. I don't remember anywhere requiring red keys. Over, out of here and to the right, huh? I guess maybe it's to the left. This way. All right, it's down here. Why? Rowdy animals. Okay. Red. All right, good. Oh, the ceiling. Ah! Ah! Let me out, let me out, let me out. Eat this. Ouch! There you go, quiz. By the time of Noah, how did God feel about having creative man? Grieved. Doi. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, what have we got by this point? We got 5. Got 6. Here's our plasma launcher. 7. Here's our BFG. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Gonna light up this room? No? Maybe? It just launches all the fruit ever? Does seem more like cantaloupe. Twang. Okay. Kind of. Alright, we hit 2 switches. What did that do? Guessing that's just gonna let us get out now? Ow. That chicken doesn't get sleepy. It just disappears in a cloud of feathers. Gonna have to fight all of these chickens during the fight with the sorrow, you know? A variety of goat sounds, I guess. Don't know how I feel about these levels. Like, I might call them... I don't want to call them forgettable. I think that's a bit too mean. I think they have moments. I think the way that it's kind of leaning on recognition of some iconic Doom, I think that's kind of funny, actually, because it's just like, yeah, we made this... We made the Noah's Ark thing far more Doom-like. We made it so you can't miss that the Doom is in there. But you know, I don't know, what's so boat about this layout? We got some moments where, I mean, the necessity of the hallway. It's like a hard thing, right? Because you do think, oh, it's just a big It's 30 by 50 by 30 and full of cages for animals. So it would be repetitive, but there's also like, okay, what else do we draw on? It's just like, all right, is there going to be, it's just Noah and his family and these animals, so it's not like there's a lot of human quarters. Having a maze-like section, sure. Now, I think there's something funny that could be said if you're just like, well, yeah, the whole thing is kind of labyrinthian and doesn't make sense because it is all divinely inspired, and anything sort of divined by the gods is a little inscrutable and maddening to men because we cannot. Oh, okay, I guess we're not going back. I think that would be fun. That's a big chickie. You're a cyber demon, aren't you? Well, you're a cyber demon. You're a cyber demon. You're a cyber demon. You're a cyber demon. There's 2. There's 3. You're not a cyber demon? You're the little spider brain. You get sleepy. A word? Let me guess. More switches. Sure. Well, I'm far less worried about them now. No, what are you? Because normally... What are you? Big chicken, what are you? I want to know what's going to be the Revenant. That'd be really funny. Or not the Revenant, the Archvile. Are the chickens cacos, actually? Not a pain elemental. Although a chicken spawning chickens would make sense. Ouch. Wow, I actually got a... Look out now. Gotta get my hits done on. They have correctly ported over the way that there is like no hit response and you don't quite ever know when you're getting hurt. I don't hate these. I think maybe it's just a little bit corridor heavy for me, right? Like this has this one especially has definitely just been like a series of rooms, and like, yeah, we're kind of having set piece moments, but it's just like, here's one, then some hallways, then another one, then some hallways, and it's just like, okay, what is the like? I think in some of the better Doom maps, there is almost a sense of like act breaks in the design of it. Usually that comes around whenever you would have like a key door, because it's like, oh, first we have to deal with this section, and maybe there's, you know, a set piece in there that we're exploring and wrapping around, and then you go through the one hallway that has a key door, and then you go into the new one, and then you have a new set piece or something. Or maybe you go into something that is less a set piece and more of just like a sort of like more linear area that feels different and it'll have different pacing. This one is just very much like hallways, rooms, hallways, rooms, hallways, rooms. Like I'm kind of sick of this level at this point. And it's had some fine like set piece rooms and some fine encounters and all of that, but the labyrinth maze was like a nice middle section, but also like it didn't feel like a middle chapter or something like that. It was just like, oh, that happened at some point in the miasma of the rest of the levels, hallway to room to hallway to room. Granted, but again, like the rooms and the hallways, they're fine. They're pretty interesting. That's the thing. They are simply kind of hallways and rooms, and like it's weird. The thing, it's like too many set pieces in a single level means that the set pieces start to blur together, and they start to fail at their function of being like iconic and memorable. You know. I think it's more of an overall pacing issue rather than any, you know, particular standout faults in design. Good. Now we're back up to full health. Telling me this is a room? And again, like, it is improving on what the original was. It is sort of taking the spirit of what the Wolf engine would allow and is keeping a lot of... Like it's almost one of those, like... See, and this is why sometimes I look at Wolf and I'm, like, not interested in what comes of that lineage, because it was so... Everything was so samey. It's just like, okay, like, because like I would say that this was almost a matter of like, oh, now this feels like a room that we saw in the original version. Like you could say, oh, you're keeping the wrong parts in your adaptation. You're keeping parts that, you know, are the parts that should be elaborated on, but like, no. There's so like little in that original. It's like, no, I think you are kind of elaborating on everything. But maybe it's that element of like, if anything, an improvement on that original would be more brevity, which is more brevity an oxymoron? Maybe. Where did you come from? I think there's an idle stance missing image issue. Okay.
All right.
Let's keep it here. A thing that I don't know is this is not a complete WAD. This is not a mega WAD. This is, like I said, this is the as is. I can look very quickly and say, because if I'm reading this right, the original developer did do a like full playthrough and put it up, and it looks like it's either 12 or 18 levels. I don't know what to tell you. Something like that. Why is numbers so big today? Anyway, I think we've looked at it plenty for today. Hey, I think we've looked at it plenty for today. Thank you for hanging out with me and looking at this. I have a lot of ideas to chew on, and I really should pick... Once I've chewed on them a little bit longer, I need to make sure to pick one to act on. I think highest priority right now is finding gunshot sounds that don't grate on me and lets me play these for longer stretches at once. I need to not be afraid to just hold down the chain gun trigger, you know? Good. Right before we get out of here, let's do the 3rd. That's today. We did DooM WAD Travelogue. Next week, I'm going to do a backlog stream. Don't know what that's going to be. Week after that, I'm going to do more DooM WAD. I don't know what that's going to be. I'll have to pick something out. I don't think we're just going to continue this. I think we've seen enough of this. Maybe I'll play it on my own time, and if there's something interesting to revisit, we'll do that. What if we play more Chex Quest? What if I do play Blake Stone next time? You know what? We'll see what the mood is. And then I'm going to end the month with a build stream because I have another Lego kit that's been waiting for me to build it forever, and I would like to finally get to that and have another nice, pretty thing to look at. Not just myself and Joe. Anyway, that's going to do it. That's almost going to do it. The rest of housekeeping. You're probably watching this on the archive. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. If you want to hang out and sit in while these things are recorded live, you can go over to our Twitch. You can follow over there. Be part of our lovely chat. Hang out with Jackie. If you want to get notified about when new live streams go live or when pre-recorded stuff goes up on YouTube, I set up a Discord. You can go there and follow and get all of that and see other behind-the-scenes thoughts about things that are coming and all of that. And then if you like the things I'm doing and you want to help me do them more, throw $1 at me. I think the things I do have value. Prove it. It's on you to prove it, I guess. That's going to do it. Thank you very much for hanging out. I had a good time. I hope you did too. And until next time I see you, take care of one another. Have a good night, everybody. Out.